Okay, so let's talk about Trader Joe's organic Earl Grey tea. No, let me know what you're drinking, but let's talk about Love's Greek to Me. Did you also have mixed feelings? I have seen a lot of mixed reviews. So let's start with the good, the things I liked. The three main ones were Torrey DeVitto. Love her. I will watch anything she does for Hallmark. If Torrey's in it, it's like instantly elevated. I also loved the wardrobe in this movie. Everyone looked fantastic. Torrey was stunning. Loved so many of her outfits. And the location. Greece looked amazing. Santorini, beautiful. It is on my bucket list. I am pretty sure it was put on my bucket list when Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants came out. And guys, I thought that I was like 18 when that movie came out, but I looked it up and I was like 27. So that was painful. But yes, that movie also cemented Michael Rady into my brain. So one day Greece is on the travel list for sure. Anyways, Ilana and Mike are dating. They've been dating for what, 1 year, 2 years? And they are going to Greece to see his family for his sister's wedding. He proposes and his mom immediately starts planning the wedding. So guys, I hate it when there is a mom character like this. I know stereotypes come from somewhere, and maybe there are some moms out there like this. The manipulative, passive-aggressive, guilt-tripping, overbearing, just awful people. But I just hate this trope in movies. I can't stand it. No offense to Marina Sirtis, who is a legend, and she was wonderful in this, which is probably why I hated the character so much, because she played it so well. But I just can't stand this trope. So that's a major strike against this movie for me. Okay, I'm having trouble articulating my thoughts on this movie. Maybe because some parts of it hit a little close to home. So we have Ilana. She is an only child raised by her mom, compared to Mike, who comes from this, stereotypical big, boisterous Greek family. And those are two very different dynamics. Of course, Ilana is going to be a bit overwhelmed to begin with, and it might take a little while to warm up and feel comfortable in that new, very unfamiliar type of family dynamic. But when they get to Greece, it just felt like Mike sort of left her to hang out with his family on her own and didn't really try and support her in any way or help her get used to what his family was like. And his family was lovely. Like, his sister was super nice and welcoming, and the mom was in her way. But having grown up with his mom, I feel like Mike could have done more to prepare her and help her and support her, and addressing issues directly with his mom, instead of telling Ilana that he would and then he doesn't, and actually comes back and is like, oh, well, yeah, actually, I agree with my mom. This is what I want. So these two had a lot of issues they needed to discuss. And when it kind of comes to a head, I feel like she got blamed a bit, like, well, you're the one who doesn't want to talk about these issues. Well, dude, like, you could have forced some conversations about these issues. And, well, you're the one who, doesn't get close to people because you're afraid they're going to leave you. I mean, of course she is. And if you already know that about her, I feel like that would make you more empathetic or understanding to her reactions and responses to things. Then we have him getting upset with her because she didn't tell him immediately that her friend was going to leave that dig site, and that could be a job potentially for her. And it's like, some people just need time to process something themselves first without hearing input from everybody else. Like, she needed to figure out what she wanted first. And of course she knew you'd be like, that's the solution to our problem, when like maybe it wasn't the solution to the problem if she didn't want that job. And if she didn't want that job, like, why would she tell you? So I don't know. These people had a lot of things to talk about. And part of me loves that, because that's more what real relationships are like. But this is a Hallmark movie, and we don't come to Hallmark for that. That's not what you expect from a Hallmark Channel movie. I'm not opposed to it. Like, you know, The Way Home and Ride, like, those have some messy characters. But this is an 84-minute movie, and Hallmark just does not do messy very well. Like, there's just not enough time to dig deep enough in on the issues and the resolutions to wrap it up in a satisfactory way. We do end with a wedding. I think it flashed forward a year, but we didn't see any of the hard stuff that would have needed to take place in that year for me to believe that this couple is gonna stay together. You know? I've also seen people think it was weird that she just had no traditions. But unless you grew up in a family with a strong culture or religious belief that comes with big traditions, like, I think it's totally normal to not have traditions. Like, the only thing I can think of in my life that I would call a tradition is opening the one present on Christmas Eve, and it's always pajamas, right? And it just depends. Like, I mean, traditions are handed down, so very dependent upon your family history, how your parents were brought up, how their parents were brought up. Like, you just might not have any big, huge traditions. And that's okay. I felt like they thought it was a character flaw that she just had no traditions. I feel like we need justice for Ilana and her only child, one parent upbringing, right? So, I don't know, guys. I mean, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I'm having trouble articulating all of the thoughts in my head. This was just... it was a miss for me. I'm not gonna watch it again. Should you watch it? Sure, yeah. If you love Torrey, if you love Grease, like, give it a watch. It's worth it. I'm never gonna tell you not to watch something, because everyone likes different things, and I've heard some people that loved this movie. Some people that hated it more than I did, which I wouldn't say I hated it. I think I ended up giving it 3.5 on Instagram. My bar, like, 3 stars is just like a generic, plain old status quo Hallmark movie. 3.5 is like, it was above par, but I'm not necessarily gonna rewatch it. And I went 3.5 because it was above par for Torrey and the wardrobe and the location. The story just needed some work, and there were things that did not work for me. What did you think? Did you love it? Because I have heard that some people have just loved it. Did you hate it? Because I've heard that as well. Or are you kind of middle of the road, unsure, like I am? Comment and let me know. Hopefully the next movie is a little more yay or nay with less mixed feelings. because I hate these mixed feelings ones. I just want to watch the movie and be happy and go on with my life. So let me know what you thought. The three main things I loved about this movie would be Torrey DeVitto, her wardrobe, and Grease. Oh shoot, I didn't change my letterboard. Awesome. Just a minute, I'll be right back.